Okay. And we're back fresh out of Upper Cathedral Ward and given the D to Celestial Emissary. And now I'm going after Ebrietas, Amygdala, and Wet Nurse one after the other. Okay? Now, I've already said that Ebrietas is my favorite boss in the vanilla game. I love the design. I love what lore I know about. I love the arena. Everything about it is so, to me, it's like so beautiful. And I feel when I fight Ebrietas, I always feel bad. You know, like she's just sort of hanging out and she doesn't want to be fucked with, and I got no reason to fuck with her, right? It's a lot like the Sif fight, except not as emotional. I still feel bad for killing Sif. That's a fight that it always makes me feel rough, man. So these little things can cause frenzy buildup. You don't want to take a hit. They're also all over Upper Cathedral Ward. Fuck, this is so beautiful. Okay, so the strat for dealing with Ebrietas. Now, Ebrietas can be a very, very fucking hard fight, okay? Especially in the Chalice dungeons. But she can give a lot of players some trouble. So, Beast Blood Pellet and Bolt. Now, what I like to do, she's a lot like Rom, right? You gotta hit her and snap her out of it. Okay, so I broke that one. What I like to do, see, like, I did no damage, right? But if you can break both of her like tentacles and then wait, and her health bar will pop up, and you can do one more R1 and you can begin the fight with a visceral attack, which will bring her down to half health pretty much, which will initiate her phase 2. While she's doing this animation, you can take all the hits you want and you can get another stagger, so she never has a chance to do any attack if you do the strategy the right way. Now I fuck it up and she gets a hit off and she's able to move a bit. Most of the time I don't even let her move, because you can get her limbs to the breaking point, and then when her health bar pops up, or you can break both of her limbs actually, and then when her health bar pops up, it's just, you're just one R1 away from getting her in place for a visceral. And I don't think I had the claw mark rune equipped either for that fight, but if you do, it's an extra 20% on your visceral, and it sends her into, like I said, phase 2, where she does, you know, that sort of bent over, maybe like I'm getting ready to fuck you kind of thing, you know. And so it's really quick. And now we are going to, after we level a bit, spin some echoes. I'm going to jump to the lecture hall, the first floor, and then we're going to go fight Amygdala. Now you can fight Amygdala before you fight Shadows of Yharnam if you want. You can get the tonsil stone. I think I get it in this run. And then you go right by Amelia's fog gate, and you follow that path all the way down, and you'll end up at the big door that takes you to Yahar'gul. After you beat Rom, you're immediately taken to that area. You stand in front of the door, and a lesser Amygdala will teleport you to this area here, the first floor lecture hall. It's also a good area to farm echoes, that lecture hall first floor. There's a room with a bunch of the student enemies, and you can farm them for echoes for days. We don't farm in this run, but if you wanted to, you could go there and farm early game before Shadows. I don't recommend fighting Amygdala before the Shadows. You're really not at a good enough level to do decent damage. It would be a longer fight, more opportunities to get fucked up, and so I just save Amygdala for later. So, as with all the other areas, pretty much, I don't fuck about here, I just run. There are lots of Wandering Nightmares, lots of shards in this area. There's a rune in this area, which I don't give a shit about. Lots of little items here and there. You see that NPC hunter running? There's another one right here on the right, and they gank you which is fucking funny, I think, because if you're playing online and you come to Nightmare Frontier, odds are, even to this day, you might get invaded and fucked. So either play this area offline if you suck at PvP, or you're just not in the mood to get invaded or ganked, or get ready to get invaded or ganked. So these rock thrower enemies have odd hitboxes, okay? It's best to not even be anywhere near a rock when it hits, and just run. There is a winter lantern. Okay, if you remember the winter lanterns, fuck them. There's one above us, or just to this, just straight of us. If you go like this way, right, where you drop down, and sometimes it won't see you, sometimes it will. It's just RNG and where it is on its path. It doesn't see us here, but that doesn't mean that it can't. It has seen me before, and it'll start frenzy build up. So right here, this is... I'm going to give you a really good tip, okay? And you probably already know about this. At that little area, don't lock on to the Wandering Nightmares. Alright? And try to follow them and hit them, because you'll drop into the poison if you're not careful. So best to just not lock onto them. So here I'm just going up to unlock the shortcut, the elevator shortcut, just to be safe in case something goes sideways with Amy, because it does happen. It happened. I don't die here. I don't die in this video at all, but she starts off with a very odd attack. I go up and I smack her in the fucking head, and she starts shooting. She does that attack where she starts shooting lasers out, and she does it immediately. And that's very odd for Amygdala to start off that way. I'm not sure why that happened, to be honest with you, but it speaks to the to the way this game can be, man. I mean, you can have one run where it's a no-death run and you're just walking through the game, just beast moding. Like, look, right here. That's a very odd attack for this early in the fight, I feel. But yeah, you could have one run where you're just beast moding, and you know, maybe you go fight Kaz and it's a no hit and you walk away feeling like fucking Rambo. And then your next run, you might get fucked left and right by Kaz, and maybe you don't even get a fucking hit in. That's just the game, and we gotta adapt to it. So here I'm just breaking limbs, and I just, you know, it's a pretty standard fight. I mean, you can do it the speedrunny way, or the no-hit way. There are a couple of different strategies. All of them involve her head and getting early staggers and viscerals. When she jumps, just roll back to where her tail was before she jumped. It's pretty easy. So there are a couple of different like no-hit or speedrun strats for Amy. One involves sort of locking yourself up against the door here and then hitting her head and just getting early viscerals and ending the fight that way. You can save her for later if you're really struggling with her. The only time, to be honest with you, that you should struggle with Amygdala in your run is in the Defiled Chalice. Just, oh my god. Yeah, you'll have fun in that, man. If you decide to run the chalices and you fight Amy in the Defiled Chalice, good fucking luck. Have at it. I got really lucky on my run of that particular chalice. I got incredibly fucking lucky with RNG, and I only had to fight her once, or it might have been twice, but I'm thinking it was once. And I'm very pleased, and I have not run that chalice again. So. Yeah, so we're at 40-40 strength and skill. So now I think I just go ahead and I start dumping stuff into vitality. We have really strong visceral damage. We have good regular physical attack damage. For now, once the DLC hits, might actually start dumping more into skill and strength to hit the hard cap of 50. But we'll see, we'll see. I've run the DLC before without leveling vitality, and it's not fun sometimes to fight Kaz and Lawrence with that low vitality. On a blood level 4 run, it's different because that's the run, right? That's the point of the run. But when you're leveling and you're not, I don't know how to explain it, when you're not playing for blood level 4, sometimes it feels frustrating. And that's all me, it's all subjective, it's just personal. I can hear the fucking winter lantern. Fuck those things. So I'm taking the shortcut up to Wet Nurse, and I don't die to Wet Nurse. The fight drags on a bit too long. She does her nightmare phase, and I don't like it. I have not yet discovered a very reliable and consistent way to go after Wet Nurse in a no-hit run. It can be done, obviously, you know. I mean, people do it. It's not impossible. I just lack the patience or the skill to do it. So the trick with Wet Nurse is you want to try and stay behind her, right? I don't succeed in that very often. Okay, I've swung how many fucking times and haven't hit her once. I just get nervous about her little knives. She hits decently hard, and she has a lot of health. But it doesn't mean the fight is hard. I don't think Wet Nurse is a hard fight. She does not have a hard move set. She's very slow. Wet Nurse is only difficult if you are making the fight more difficult for a specific type of run. So a blood level 4 run, she's hard. And here she goes into her nightmare phase. Just run circles around the arena. That's it. That's all you gotta do. So Wet Nurse is only difficult if you do like a blood level 4, or if you're doing a no-hit. No-hits are really hard against Wet Nurse for me. To me, it's all luck. For me. But yeah, I don't think she's a hard fight at all. Just takes a minute. And I hate this fucking, like, how long this fucking nightmare phase drags on. I'm just thinking, can we just not right now, please? Can we just fucking not? So she does her nightmare phase one more time, but it doesn't last very long, and you'll see. I get really annoyed and I end it. So this attack, she does 3, right? Now, she can also do that attack where she only does it twice. So you want to be careful. If she does the spin attack twice, just assume that she might be going for a 3rd hit, because she will mix those attacks up. And there might be some tell for knowing which one it is, either the 2 or the 3 swipe. I don't know what it is, but... But I've never really been in love with Wet Nurse as a fight or a boss. It's always felt like it's beautiful aesthetically, like it's amazing. But I never really was in love with it as an end boss. And Wet Nurse is the last mandatory boss. You don't have to fight Gurman. You sure as fuck don't have to fight Moon Presence. So, as an in-game boss, it always felt a bit underwhelming. Now, if you go ahead and decide to fight Gehrman and Moon Presence, then, you know, it's a bit better, I guess. But, I don't know. Just one of those bosses that just never really hit me as being amazing. And I don't want to deal with this fucking phase again. So even if I die, it's fuck it. But I don't die. It's over. And now we just wait for Nightmare Slain and wait for the lamp to pop up. Then we go back to the dream. And who do we have left? Who do we have? We have Gehrman, Moon Presence, and Logarius left. Yeah. Logarius is the one fight in this whole game that I never know how it's going to go. I never know. Logarius, the strats for beating Logarius are straightforward. But yeah. Logarius can be inconsistent for me at best, and Moon Presence. Both Logarius and Moon Presence can be inconsistent. Even though I would consider Moon Presence mechanically, the way the fight goes, to be one of the easiest in the game, and this is my problem, okay? I am very, very greedy against Moon Presence, and I just want to run in and just, Rambo her to death all the time. But you do have to play Moon Presence with some bit of caution. I have a video up where I show it's not a no-hit because she does her area of effect attack and brings me down to 1 HP, but it's like a 25-second beatdown of Moon Presence that is, we'll call it a one-hit. But she can be very, very unpredictable, I guess, for my playstyle. Unfortunately, that's just the way I play. We all play the game how we play the game. We all have our strengths and weaknesses against certain bosses. Some people are great against large beasts, but suck against NPC hunters. Some people excel against hunter-type enemies, and suck against a boss like Bloodstar Beast. It's just the way we are. So here I'm just fucking about, getting everything ready for Gehrman and Moon Presence, and kind of getting ready to wrap up the vanilla game. And so that's what we're doing when we come back, just cleaning everything up.